Okay guys, well in this alchemical illustration we can see that the serpent is now clasping his tail. Now this is actually symbolizing the male and female twin soul reuniting with God consciousness and being bestowed with the divine knowledge as well as rewarded after they have journeyed 26,000 years, incarnated through the physical and ethereal planes to once again face judgment as all souls do at the end of the cycle. Now, the serpent, as I've mentioned before, is actually symbolizing the human soul. So when we see the two serpents on the caduceus, we're actually seeing the representation of the male soul and the female soul on their journey ascending back to God consciousness. Now, we're also seeing the representation of the ethereal self, and this is why quite often in the earlier depictions of the caduceus we don't see the two bottom chakras represented, because the root chakra and the sacrum chakra are actually different to our upper energetic body from the navel chakra upwards. So this is why we see the caduceus in the older illustrations normally leaving those two root and sacrum chakras off. Now we can see that there is the twin soul depicted in this illustration. Now this is the type of information that is only for eyes that can see. If you have just glanced at this picture, you probably have not seen the twin soul represented in here. But if you look beyond the symbolism and into the symbolism, you'll see that indeed the female twin soul is depicted here behind the male. Now the male always sits on the left and is represented by Horus, the sun. The female always on the right, and she's represented by Isis and the moon. And this is also why we can see her represented as the shadow in the darker color, because the moon is ruled more in the ethereal, just as the female soul is ruled more in the ethereal, and the male soul is more foundational. And we see this once again in the Emperor and the Empress cards, which are the physical attributes that the twin souls bring down with them to be manifest onto the physical realm. So we can see that the female twin soul is reaching around and she has her hand on the navel chakra of the male. Now this is depicting the navel chakra where the twin souls are birthed and manifest onto the physical, or into their physical body through the navel. And this is all done through the moon. The sun is responsible for manifesting our physical reality onto Mother Earth, but it's the moon that actually births our souls into our physical bodies. And as I said, this is done through the navel. And we also see that the navel is connected to the heart and also the sun, because the heart is directly connected to the sun, and so is the heart chakra. Now we see that the male twin soul is also resting on a skull. Now this is symbolizing that they have defeated death, because when the twin souls are ascending back to God consciousness at the end of the cycle, and they successfully reunite with God consciousness, and they are judged and deemed worthy, they defeat death and remain immortal. And we see that this is represented on the right side with the flower, which is representing renewal and life. And then in the background we see that they live in this paradise, and these are the rewards that come to the souls that are deemed worthy of passing through judgment into first time Zep Tepi. So there you go guys, just a quick decoding of that illustration, and I'll leave it here. As I've said, all of these illustrations are available to have a look in more detail in my Thy Always Seek group, and you'll find the link directly under the video. Okay, well I'll leave it there, and as always, peace out.